The paper we're diving into today is Cognition and Constructs, a critical study on the Codexation Dilemma by Joey Lawson. This was published all the way back in 1988, but honestly, some of the questions it raises still feel super fresh and kind of unsettling.
Yeah, definitely. At the heart of Lawson's paper is something he calls the Codexation Dilemma, which I'd never heard of before reading this. You?
No, it was new to me too. The basic problem Lawson explores is whether we, humans can actually think truly abstract thoughts without tying them to something physical. Like, are you even able to imagine a 0 or 1 without picturing a symbol or associating it with something, like an empty set or a single object?
Right, and that's where his so-called Lawsonian paradox comes in. The core argument is, whenever we try to have an abstract thought, we end up anchoring it in something material, literally giving the abstract form by scribbling it on paper or representing it with a physical symbol. That's sort of wild because it means even ideas we think of as pure abstractions, like mathematical concepts, only exist for us because we've created physical stand-ins.
And he uses examples that are honestly pretty relatable. Numbers, words, love, even infinity. Like, the number 0 doesn't exist as an object in nature, but the minute you draw 0 on a page, you've made it physically real in a sense. But the paradox is, it's still just an abstract idea. The paper really keeps coming back to, does symbolizing an idea make it real, or is it still just in our heads?
I thought his methodology was actually kind of accessible. He uses case studies, so he picks apart how we codify abstract things. The word love is my favorite. You write down L-O-V-E, and those letters exist physically, but love itself is still an immaterial feeling. And then he uses metaphors like pain in the heart. We're always pulling these physical anchors into our language.
There's a point in the paper where he talks about memories and how sensory experiences, like smells, can trigger them. That links cognition right back to the sensory, physical world. I think it's fascinating, but also kind of frustrating, because it means we might never escape our physical biases, right?
Yeah, and something else that keeps coming up is how we basically run our whole lives, society, science, math, even our collective knowledge, on constructs that are, built on this kind of guesswork and shared assumption. Like the power of the standard, he mentions. Stuff becomes real because most people agree to treat it as real, you know?
Oh, definitely. And it makes you wonder about language, too. Like, are words ever truly real, or are they just very effective guesses that enough people buy into?
That reminds me, I once read somewhere that dolphins have names for each other, which are just specific whistles. I wonder if dolphins ever argue about what a name really is. But, sorry, that's...
No, I love that. It's a fun thought tangent. It does kind of fit, though. Even animals seem to need physical signals to convey meaning.
Lawson's point is, I think, that as much as we want to believe in the power of abstract thought, we're always grounded, maybe trapped, in physical representation. And that invites us to keep questioning the foundations of our reality.
Which, for listeners, means maybe give yourself a little grace next time you feel stuck trying to think outside the box. You might just be doing what humans have always done, reaching for something abstract, but pulling it back down to earth, because that's how brains work.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, Lawson's essay isn't saying, this is the truth. It's more an invitation to keep poking at our assumptions and be curious about where our thoughts actually come from.
Yeah, it's a reminder that science and philosophy aren't about certainty, but about asking better questions. So, what's abstract for us will probably always have a shadow in the physical. And honestly, that's kind of beautiful.
Couldn't agree more.